Has the county planner gone rogue, or was the county planner acting in coordination with others behind the scenes? As you listen to the recording, review the documents, and follow the timeline, decide for yourself whether the process reflected impartial administration or something else.
From the county standpoint, is that since currently there's some litigation going on around your last proposal, I don't believe I can accept the application at this time.
Okay, so how do I push it forward if you can't accept it then? Does that just mean I have to?
I guess the only way you could do it is probably go in front of the Board of County Commissioners and tell them, I refuse to accept your application.
Okay, deal.
Our nation recently marked its 250th year. As neighbors gathered to celebrate, many reflected on what it means to be an American, believing that our rights come from God, not government, that we are free to speak our minds, practice our faith, work hard, build a life, own property, and pursue our dreams without unnecessary government interference. Those principles are not abstract to our family. They have become deeply personal. In 2020, my wife Michelle and I opened a teepee retreat on our own property in Hot Springs County, a small glamping operation built to bring visitors to Thermopolis. It worked. In our first year of operation, before we were ever told to shut down, the retreat attracted numerous guests from around the world. Independent research on destination tourism suggests that for every dollar a visitor spends at a draw like ours, several more dollars get spent in the surrounding community: gas, groceries, restaurants, the state park, local attractions. By that measure, conservatively, our little retreat was on pace to help generate tens of millions of dollars in economic activity for this county over time. And more than 70% of our guests told us the same thing. They came to Hot Springs County because of the teepees first and discovered everything else Thermopolis has to offer second. That's not a threat to this community. That's exactly the kind of economic growth Thermopolis has said for years that it needs. Instead, we were told to close without ever being given a clear reason why. So we did what the Constitution gives every citizen the right to do. We asked a court to make the county explain itself and took the advice from a previous local legal representative. 5 years, one settlement. That fight went on for 5 years. It ended the way most legal fights should end, when both sides are willing to act in good faith, with a negotiated settlement, not a Wyoming Supreme Court ruling that could have unwound the county's entire land use plan. 2 commissioners in particular deserve real credit for that outcome. They chose mediation over forcing everyone, the county included, to spend hundreds of thousands more in legal fees fighting a case the county may have lost due to a brand new law, our case being the first to test it, that land use plans do not have the full force and effect of law. That's what responsible, Constitution-respecting leadership looks like. We held up our end. We agreed to start the permitting process over, from scratch in good faith, following every rule the county laid out. Here we go again. That was well over a year ago. Since then, we have submitted 3 separate revised applications, each time making the changes the county's own planner asked for. We showed up to every meeting we were told to attend, and still the application has gone nowhere. At one point, we were told in writing that our application couldn't even be accepted because of pending litigation that, again, had already been resolved by settlement. Has the county planner gone rogue, or was the county planner acting in coordination with others behind the scenes? Should a county planner decide legal questions, or should that be left to the county attorney and the courts? Listen to the short clip recorded on June 4th, 2026.
So in December, the Board of County Commissioners elected to remove the application from my office. When I took it to them to let them know that I would not accept it because of what I felt was the legal implications against the parcel. So they took that from my office. So they need to remand it back to this office and instruct me on how to proceed forward.
Okay. When our application was submitted, there was no active litigation between our family and Hot Springs County. The prior case had already been resolved through a settlement. Yet our application was denied based on what was described as an ongoing legal issue. Then, after months of silence, in December we served a 14 days notice requesting clarification of the county's position. The county attorney, Jill Logan, filed a new lawsuit against us before the 14 days notice ran out in the attempting to renege on the settlement agreement made early 2025. The county lost soon thereafter in a final judgment. That sequence raises important questions. If there was no active litigation when our application was denied, why was litigation used as the reason? Who made the decision to deny the application on that basis? Was the county planner acting on his own or at the direction of someone else? If the county commissioners had directed that our application be processed like any other applicants, why wasn't that process followed? And why did a new lawsuit arise only after we formally demanded clarification? These are serious questions that deserve clear answers. As you listen to the recording, review the documents, and follow the timeline, decide for yourself whether the process reflected impartial administration or something else.
The other piece with this that I really struggled with, and I think I've got to take a stance on from the county standpoint, is that since currently there's some litigation going on around your last proposal, I don't believe I can accept the application at this time.
Okay, so how do I push it forward if you can't accept it then? Does that just mean I have to?
I guess the only way you could do it is probably go in front of the Board of County Commissioners and tell them, I refuse to accept your application.
Okay.
More recently, we were told the application had been sent to the Board of County Commissioners for direction, but the chairman and vice chairman of that very board say no such application has ever reached them, and that they had already directed county staff to process our application like any other. Someone in that chain is not telling the truth, and a family that followed every rule it was given is paying the price for it. Again, we've asked our attorneys to formally request, in writing, exactly where our application stands, what specific rule justifies the delay, and when we can expect an actual hearing. We are not asking for special treatment. We are asking for the same due process this county's own rules promise to every landowner who applies. Why this matters to you, not just us, this isn't really a story about teepees. It's a story about whether the rules in this county apply evenly or whether they bend depending on who your neighbor knows. Today it's a glamping permit. Tomorrow it could be your business, your fence line, your family's land. The people who told us for 5 years to follow the rules are the same people who, now that we have, seem unwilling to follow their own. What you can do. This fall, Hot Springs County voters will have the chance to decide who sits on the Board of County Commissioners, the body responsible for making sure county staff actually follow the land use plan instead of quietly setting it aside when it's convenient. That's not a small thing. That board is where accountability either happens or doesn't. 250 years ago, people risked everything for the idea that government answers to the people, not the other way around. This November, honor that the simplest way there is, know who you're voting for, ask them directly whether they'll hold county staff accountable to the county's own rules, and vote for the people who will. We love this county. We want to keep building something good here. We're just asking for the fair shot every one of us is supposed to get.